Welcome back for video 4 in our 5-part introduction. I'm Caleb Anderson, and I want to continue in a story about Jesus as he walked on this earth and crowds just mobbed him. On one occasion, he was in this home. He was in a home. It might have been the home of one of his famous apostles, Peter, but you just got to imagine a first century home packed with people. It's made of clay. They don't have lots of square footage, but it's shoulder to shoulder. You can't get through. You can't see through. Jesus is up here probably at the front wall, and people are just surrounding him, pouring outside and out the windows, trying to get a glimpse of this miracle man and hang on every word from this wisdom teacher. And some friends of a paralyzed guy are aware that Jesus is in their town. Now, these are 4 friends, all of them seemingly committed to their buddy who's been paralyzed for a long time and who can't on his own get anywhere near Jesus. Certainly he's interested. Certainly he wants to know about this Jesus too. And these 4 guys have in their minds that maybe, just maybe, this miracle man can heal their friend. So these 4 friends grab 4 corners of the mat that this guy lives on, and they carry him out into the streets and all the way to the house where Jesus is. But like we've established, the house is packed. There's no room. There's no way that even crowd surfing, they're going to be able to get this guy to Jesus. So they get creative. They climb up the stairs. In the first century homes, they oftentimes had stairs or a ladder that would take them to the roof deck. And these 4 friends go up on the roof and they start digging through the house. No doubt there's one guy down below that's like, he's over here. Okay, a little bit to the left. Okay, come a little bit this way. There, dig. And they start digging through the home, through the ceiling of the home. It starts as just like a little dust coming down, and then all of a sudden the sun is coming through. No doubt Jesus stops and just kind of waits for whatever it took, 20 minutes, 45 minutes, for them to open up a hole. Now, not a small hole. They had to be able to lower this guy on his mat through the hole to be with Jesus, to get in front of Jesus. Now, all the people that had just been like piling in and smelling each other and they stink in this tight little house are annoyed by the disruption because they were wanting to hear from Jesus. And maybe they had a miracle of their own they wanted to see. But these friends are so committed, they got to get their buddy there. Jesus stops talking. He watches the man be lowered. The man is hanging there in front of this crowd. And Jesus, it says, you're going to read this on your own, Jesus, seeing the faith of the friends, says to the guy, hey, your sins are healed, dude. To which the dude, who knows what he's experiencing, he's probably humiliated and embarrassed. His friends have to be a little bit frustrated, like, hey, we brought him here for like the miracle thing. Like if you could heal his legs, if you could give him his life back, he's paralyzed. We want him to be able to walk and have a normal existence. And then Jesus, because he's like God in skin, he knows what some of the religious leaders in the room are thinking. And they're thinking, no one can forgive sins. This is blasphemy. Who does this guy think he is? No one has the power other than God to forgive sins. Jesus is like, yeah, they don't know that I'm God yet. But he speaks directly at them and says, which is more difficult? To say a person's sins are forgiven or to tell them that they can walk? But he says, just so that you know that I have authority, go ahead, buddy, get up, walk on out of here. And the dude did. He could walk from that point. He probably skipped and ran and jumped and did lunges and somersaults all the way home. The question for us to consider today, number 1, what do you do when you're suspended? Like, what do you do in the moment between when you don't know how this thing is going to go down and you're exposed and you're vulnerable and you're counting on God to do something and come through? Like when you just moved and you're like, God, you gotta do this. You gotta bring it. You gotta make this happen. You gotta bring friends and resources when you go out on a limb, when you start the new thing, when you trust someone in a relationship, when you're suspended there in tension. waiting for God to come through. What do? Do you trust him? Do you hope? When he's doing the invisible thing first, hey, your sins are forgiven, I'm working on the interior, will you trust that? Will you let him work out the invisible stuff? That's the first thing to consider and to think about. The second thing is, do you have 4 friends? Do you have 4 friends that will take you to God even when you can't get there yourself? When you're so tired, when you're so depressed, when you're so saddened by the circumstances and you just need other people to be in it with you. Who are those friends? And are you that kind of a friend to anyone else? Have a conversation with the people that you're with. Answer the questions that we've provided if those are helpful to you. And I'll see you in the next video.